These are the things your dog has been waiting their entire life for you to do. Not the big, dramatic gestures, not the expensive toys or the gourmet treats, the small, quiet, repeatable moments that, according to science, are the very foundation of the bond between you and your dog. And most owners have no idea they are missing them. The average dog lives 10 to 13 years. That is it. In that short window of time, your dog will give you everything they have: their loyalty, their attention, their joy. Their entire emotional world revolves around one person or one family, and they never waver, they never leave, they never stop waiting. The question is whether you are giving them what they are waiting for. Let's start with the most powerful one, because it is also the simplest. Look into their eyes. Every day, your dog waits for your eyes, not for a treat, not for a walk, but for the quiet moment when you meet their gaze and give them your full attention. This is not just a sweet habit or a sentimental gesture. It is a biological conversation written into your dog's body and yours. In 2015, researchers led by Takefumi Kikusui discovered something extraordinary. When you and your dog look into each other's eyes, really look, for more than a passing glance, both your brains release oxytocin. That is the same hormone that bonds mothers to infants, the same chemical that tells your heart, you belong here. The study measured this effect in 30 dog owner pairs, tracking oxytocin levels before and after a half-hour spent together. The longer the dog gazed, the higher the oxytocin rose in both of you. But when the same test was done with hand-raised wolves, the effect vanished. Wolves could look, but the hormonal loop never started. This is something only dogs have evolved to share with us. It is not about dominance or obedience or even training. It is about trust. When you hold your dog's gaze, you are telling them, you are safe, you are loved. Most owners miss this. They rush through the day, busy and distracted, never realizing their dog is waiting for that one simple thing. So, make it a ritual. Pause, even for a few seconds, and meet your dog's eyes. Let them see you seeing them. For your dog, that moment is everything. And in their short life, it is the easiest gift you can give. Your dog's world is written in scent, not sight. While you walk down the street and see trees, cars, and neighbors, your dog is reading a swirling library of invisible stories: who passed by, what changed overnight, which patch of grass holds a secret worth pausing for. Inside their nose, nearly 300 million scent receptors work in concert. Compared to the 6 million you rely on, every second your dog can sniff 5 to 10 times, gathering more information than you could process in a week. This isn't a distraction from the walk. For your dog, sniffing is the main event, their way of making sense of everything that matters. Lauren Fries from the Animal Humane Society calls sniffing a dog's primary information system. It's not just about marking territory or chasing a smell. It's how your dog learns, relaxes, and feels safe. Studies and trainers agree that 20 minutes of dedicated sniffing offers the same mental enrichment as 1 hour of steady walking. That's why so many owners now set aside time for sniffaries, slow, scent-rich walks where the leash loosens and the dog leads. Surveys suggest as many as 85% of enrichment-focused owners have adopted some version of this habit, not because it's trendy, but because it works. The distance you cover doesn't matter. What matters is letting your dog experience the world on their terms, giving them agency and joy in a life that's far too short. Your dog isn't waiting to finish the walk. They're waiting for you to let them explore it, nose first. The sound of a familiar voice shapes a dog's world. In 2018, the University of York found that dogs prefer speech made just for them, higher-pitched, rhythmic, and warm. When people use this tone, dogs relax, their tails wag, and they pay closer attention. Heart rate and gaze measurements showed that dogs oriented more quickly and stayed calmer when addressed this way, compared to ordinary conversation. Beyond attention, Attila Andix's brain imaging research reveals that a dog's reward centers light up for the voice they know best. This response mirrors the joy of play or a favorite treat. The owner's voice becomes a source of comfort and excitement woven into daily life. According to a 2018 Anthrozoa survey, many people confide in their dogs more than in romantic partners. Dogs listen without judgment or interruption. They do not need perfect words, just the steady, familiar sound that makes them feel safe. Even a simple phrase, spoken gently, becomes a daily anchor. Communication is more than commands. It is a thread that ties dogs to the rhythm of home. For your dog, routine is not a cage, it is a promise. Every meal served at the same hour, every morning walk, every quiet evening together tells your dog that their world is steady and safe. Andrew Horan of Citizen Canine puts it simply, most dogs do not want to be in charge, they want to know what comes next. When life is predictable, anxiety fades and trust grows. It is not about rigid schedules or perfect discipline, it is about clarity. Feeding, walking, and resting at regular times become the signposts your dog reads to understand their day. A recent survey of experienced owners says it loud and clear. 39% believe patience is the most important lesson, and 29% say consistency matters more than perfection. Dogs thrive on this kind of steady presence. When the pattern breaks, when days become unpredictable, rules change, or attention comes and goes, dogs do not act out to punish you. Chewing, barking, or pacing are their way of saying they are confused. They need to know what to expect. Structure is not a trick for training. It is a language of love your dog understands. Each ordinary day, shaped by small, repeated acts, is a thread in the safety net you build together. And when you come home, when you greet your dog after hours apart, that routine is what makes the reunion mean everything. Coming home is not just a blip in your dog's day, it's the moment their world snaps back into focus. Every hour you're gone, they orbit an empty space, waiting for the sound of your steps, the scent of you drifting through the door. Meg Mars, a senior editor at Canine of Mine, explains that your smell is your dog's favorite in the world. To them, you are a living anchor, and your return is a relief that washes over their entire body. Watch the way your dog greets you. The deep eye contact, the gentle head pressed against your leg, the weight of their body leaning in, or a paw placed quietly on your foot. These are not random gestures. Behavioral researchers have named them as attachment cues, signs that your dog is reorienting to the center of their emotional universe. The reunion is not just about excitement, it's about safety, trust, and the simple joy of being whole again. For your dog, this is the payoff for every minute spent waiting. But the real gift isn't just the greeting at the door. What your dog wants most is to be included in your life, to move from that moment of reunion into the rhythm of togetherness that follows. For a dog, the heart of life is not a special event, but simply being part of the daily rhythm. Dogs shape their world around the people they love, finding meaning in the ordinary, resting at your feet during breakfast, following you from room to room, or sharing a quiet moment in the garden. These small acts are not background noise, they are the foundation of belonging. Studies of canine social behavior reveal that dogs are drawn to shared experience, not isolation or scheduled play. Inclusion offers them security and a sense of place. Each time a dog is welcomed into the flow of daily life, whether during chores or moments of rest, it strengthens their trust and confidence. Companionship is not a bonus, it is the purpose behind every routine. For a dog, being included is not just enjoyable, it is the reassurance that they are home. Every time you reward your dog for doing something right, whether it's a gentle word, a favorite treat, or a warm touch, you are lighting up the learning center of their brain. Scientists have mapped this out. When a dog earns praise or a small reward, their body releases dopamine, the same chemical that fuels joy and motivation in humans. This is not just a feel-good moment, it is the foundation of real, lasting learning. Dogs taught with positive reinforcement, using praise, treats, and play, show up to 80% greater improvement in new behaviors compared to those trained with punishment. That is not a soft approach. It is the most effective, humane path to a dog who trusts you and wants to learn. On the other hand, punishment-based methods such as shouting, leash jerks, or worse, raise your dog's stress hormones and chip away at the trust you have worked so hard to build. Studies show that dogs trained with fear or pain become anxious, withdrawn, and less able to learn. The cost is not just a missed trick, it is a crack in the bond your dog spends a lifetime trying to strengthen. So choose reward-based teaching as your default. Let your dog know exactly when they have done well. Use treats, toys, or your happiest voice, and do it right away so they connect the reward to their action. This is not just about training, it is about giving your dog the clear, non-threatening guidance they wait for every day. Don't wait to become the kind of owner your dog has been hoping for. Their time is short, and every moment you spend teaching with kindness is a moment you both win. Right now, your dog is waiting, not for grand gestures, but for the quiet, everyday moments science shows matter most. Their lives are heartbreakingly brief. Every glance, word, and routine is a chance you can't get back. Don't let them keep waiting. Let me know how you'll show up today.